What's going on, people? It's Box Blackwell, and you're watching Tattoo Topics. Today, we are going to talk about how to start in the tattoo industry, how to go about doing it the right way. Okay? So, me personally, I went about it not so great. I got a late start on things, I did not do my research. It took me a long time to get where I am now. Other people are usually at this point before I am. But I progressed very quickly once I started getting what, I needed to do done. So I started tattooing when I was 14 years old. I did my first little stick and poke tattoo in the lunchroom of my school, right? Actually got expelled from school for it. So I did a little upside down cross on my arm. It's been covered up since then, but little stick and poke. I got kind of good at doing stick and pokes. I got like a serious formula that worked for me. They still looked horrible. So after I got better at doing that, I started tattooing my friends. It kind of went from there. And then one day I decided to automate the process. Now, this is before I knew anything about tattoo machines or rotary machines or anything. I didn't know anything about anything. As far as I knew, you wrap thread around a needle, you dip it in ink, you push it on your skin, it leaves a dot. That was the extent of my knowledge. So I did know that I wanted to automate the design though. So I made a tattoo machine, essentially what you would now call a rotary tattoo machine, out of an RC car motor, right? It was horrible. Little toothbrush with the motor, pen, tube, guitar string, all that, horrible. Had two wires that ran down, had a little foot switch, which was the little thing that made the car go in the slot. Ridiculous. Unsanitary as hell. Don't recommend it. So I tattooed me and my friends with this thing for a long time. Got alright with it. Got to the point where I could pull solid outlines, man. They looked like they were done with a professional machine. However, I still couldn't make really awesome tattoos. So I bought a tattoo kit, right? I went online. I bought a tattoo kit. But back then, there was no Google. There was no Amazon. There was no eBay yet, right? So I went on the only thing that I could find on the internet, the only thing that made sense to my stupid mind, was tattooequipment.com. That's what I typed in, tattooequipment.com. It took me to a website that was run by a man named Joe Kaplan. Now, Joe Kaplan sold tattoo kits on his website. However, it was not like you see today where you get like 6 machines for $30. It wasn't like that. Back then, a tattoo kit cost roughly around $600. Came with 2 machines, a big ass power supply with banana clips, and it was nice. It was alright. It did the job. It was better than the little homemade rig that I had, So I used that. And with this tattoo kit came a whole bunch of tattoo flash. Probably the same flash that you see in every old school tattoo shop. Same shit. So I tattooed my friends. It took me like 2 tattoos to figure out how the machine worked. But once I got it down mechanically what it did and all that, I was able to pull some clean stuff. You know what I mean? At that time, I was just copying pictures. So the tattoos that I did actually came out really well. And they lasted. I run into these friends from a while back, and these tattoos are years old. Like, probably a decade, 15 years. And they look amazing. They still look really good. Aside from some that had purple, the purple fell out. So I got good at tattooing my friends with this thing for a while. And I did a tattoo on a friend of mine that came out really well, right? So he goes to get his septum pierced at a tattoo shop in Pottstown, PA. And the owner had him call me And he called me and he said, "Hey man, this guy wants you to come down to the shop. He saw the tattoo you did on my leg. He wants to talk to you." Now immediately in my head I'm thinking, probably not a good idea. This guy's going to kick my ass, right? Because that's what tattoo artists want to do to guys that tattoo out of their houses. But he talked me into it, and I was like, I haven't had my ass kicked in a while anyway. I might as well give it a shot. So I go down to his shop, and he said, "You did the tattoo on his leg?" I was like, "Yup." He was like, "All right, you want to apprentice under me? You seem to know what you're doing. I'm looking for an apprentice. You interested?" And I was like, "Yup." So I did. I went to work for him. I apprenticed under him for a while, man, and got to the point where I was able to tattoo. Now, right as I was getting into full-time tattooing, he moved. He had to move across the country. Obviously, I couldn't follow. By this time, I had already had 2 children. So, what did I do? I went back to working out of my house, but I did it a little differently. I had a whole room in my house. It was basically a whole section of the house, a whole wing of the house that was dedicated to just being spotless. So I turned this into like a little mock-up tattoo shop. So I did that for a little while, and I eventually, I felt like there was more that I needed. I needed to look more professional. I needed to be more professional about it. At the end of the day, you're still tattooing out of your house. You know what I mean? It can only be so clean. So I decided to open a tattoo shop. It was called Box Ink Tattoos. It was in Birdsboro. And the rest is history. This is where I'm at now. There's a whole story that led me to where I'm at now. This is actually my second shop that I've opened. That'll be a story for another video. But yeah, don't do what I did. That's the long road. Don't take the long road. It took forever. Just get good at what you're doing, right? Draw your ass off. Just draw so much. Can't stress that enough. Learn to draw whatever you don't know how to draw. Learn to draw it, right? Get a portfolio put together. Something real nice, right? Like a photo book full of your drawings. Something real nice. Try to have it be diverse if you can, Get good at drawing on the spot, because when you're asking for an apprenticeship, some artists will ask you to do it, some won't, but it's nice if you offer to do it. Like, "Look, man, give me something to draw and I'll draw it right here in front of you." Guarantee you they're going to ask you to draw a butterfly, a skull, or a rose. Those are like the 3 most tattooed things, right? So offer to draw one of these things for them. It's going to speak volumes about what you're able to do on the spot, which is really nice for a shop that has a lot of walk-in traffic. Once you get secured as an apprentice under a really good artist, we'll make another video on what to look for in an artist you're looking to apprentice under. So stay tuned for that one. Just do whatever they say, right? Just listen. Listen to everything they say, every little detail. Pick up every possible thing you can. When you're not cleaning or doing any of the other kind of bitch work that comes with being an apprentice, watch them tattoo. You have to watch, right? Don't be afraid to ask them to throw some ink on you, Watch them tattoo you. It's a really good way to learn how to do certain things, pick up techniques, look at the way they use their setup, because they're going to ask you to set up their station too. Set up, tear down. But watch what he's doing with everything that you put out, Just watch. It's really nice. And you'll pick up a lot of stuff, and it'll store in you subconsciously. And then when you go to do your tattoos, everything comes back, and you're like, "Oh, I saw him do this," And you pick it up. It's really nice. It's a really easy way to do it. But by all means, stay away from tattoo kits, man. Especially nowadays, like the tattoo kits are just, they're mass produced and they're shit. It's terrible. The ink, never ever use the ink that comes with a tattoo kit. That's the stuff you hear getting recalled all the time. It's on the news, it's recalled. I hear it a lot. Just listen to your tattoo artist. They'll tell you where to order your stuff. They'll tell you where the best place is to find machines. You'll have to make your own decision whether you're going to go with coils or rotaries. I personally use both. I use coils for certain things, rotaries for certain things. but you'll ultimately get to make the decision on what you use. It'll be heavily influenced by the person who's teaching you, no doubt. But anyway, doing it by yourself is definitely the long road. It's what I did. Don't do what I did, right? It took me a long time to get an apprenticeship. Nothing really happened until I did that. I would have been burnt out tattooing in my kitchen forever. It would have been terrible. Consider it a shortcut. It takes a while. It's a really hard work, and sometimes it's expensive. But in the exchange, you're getting a career that is literally going to become your entire life. It's going to engulf you completely. The main benefits of taking an apprenticeship, a formal apprenticeship, is that you cut out all the trial and error, right? When you're tattooing and you're in your house and you're doing it by yourself and you're just figuring everything out, you're buying so much stuff. There's such a market. There's a huge catalog of things that come out for tattooing, and you don't know what the hell's going on. You don't know what to use. So you buy everything. You buy this, oh, I'm going to give this a shot, I'm going to give this a shot. A tattoo artist that is teaching you how to tattoo will cut through all that bullshit, right? Just they'll teach you the right way to do things. And that's easier because you won't have any bad habits to break later either, when you finally decide that you're going nowhere and you need to get into a shop and apprentice. So take the fast road, it's harder work. It does cost money most of the time, but the payoff is way better. You're going to get your shit together long before you would if you were just tattooing and teaching yourself. So if you're part of the tattoo industry, let us know in the comments how you got started and what you had to do, whether you started by self-teaching or you took a formal apprenticeship. We want to hear about it. Let us know in the comments. Give us a like and a subscribe, and we will see you next time. I'm out.